So, Mark, a 5-2 defeat to Southend United, is that a scoreline that you think reflects the game?
No, because I think especially the start of the second half, we came out, we said to keep the ball. We've had 2-3 glorious chances, to bring it back to 2-2 and probably kick on a little bit. Listen, they're a full 23 side, we're a young group, and I thought the way we went about our jobs, the boys applied themselves fantastically well. Then they kept the ball, they started to work the pitch, and we used the ball really well. But then, for me, the mistakes, there was 3 or 4 simple, naive mistakes really. We gave the ball away in silly areas, we stayed in areas too long. When you've got a full 23 side that want to go and press and they want to work you've got to work the pitch a little bit quicker. So I just thought, I just spoke to them there reflectively, when you're in those areas, you've got to get out of those areas a lot quicker than you did. And that was the things I thought we brought on the mistakes ourselves really, and I think that's why the boys were a little bit upset, because they knew when they were in open play, they actually not only gave them a game, but that they could have caused them quite a few problems.
And you mentioned the word naivety there. This was a game that you played without any of the senior team at all, whereas you have played a couple of games with the likes of Danny Rose, Dion Donoghue, etc. Do you think you missed one of those types of players there?
Well, you always miss. Listen, in those games, they're carrying 3, 4, 5 of the boys, in around their squad. So, of course, it helps. It always helps when you've got senior boys alongside that, you can talk them through and work in that way. But it's still that the boys, it's a brilliant education for them because they're exposed to it. And the thing about exposed is it's challenges. Well, you're there to be exposed really at times. And we as a coaching staff, we have to be brave sometimes that, you're going into a game and you've got to learn from it. There's an education part of it as well. And that was an education for them today. We're doing it a lot at the moment where I'm getting 16s into the youth team. We're moving people around. As I said, we've played 3 games a week for the last 5 weeks now, so there's been a lot of football and a lot of minutes being played, but that's what I want to do. I want them to get out on the grass. I want them to feel what it's like, and that was a brilliant game for them because they're playing up against 3 or 4 lads that are really good quality and in areas. But not only that, as I said, they've learnt from it, they've taken things from it. They know the game's a little bit quicker and where they need to quicken up. But once the ball was in free play, I thought they actually did really, they applied themselves really well and gave them a lot of problems. They did cause them problems. Once we got into around those final thirds, again, just a little bit of quickness, a little bit of, sharpness, and it makes a difference. But at optimum times, when we're 2-1 down and you come out and you have 2 or 3 very, very good chances, you have to put them away because then it puts them on the back foot a little bit. And we can probably build a little bit more. But, from that point of view, education, big tick in the box. They learnt a lot from that today. Having senior lads around, it does help, but then sometimes it's actually better for you to go and find out as well.
And you mentioned creating chances. You had just pulled it back to 1-1 through a penalty. Then there was another penalty shout, which looked like a very strong shout. How did you see that incident?
It was a blatant penalty. For me, Leon Maloney's got past him. He's gone past him. He's driving for the box. And the lads caught him and taken him down. To be honest with you, I think their bench were the same. He's in the area, he's gone down. It's a definite penalty. The referee should have given it, but he hasn't. But again, reflectively, he hasn't given it. But you've still got to get up and you've got to go and work that system. You can't use it as an excuse. It's referees make mistakes. We had one on Saturday. We had a blatant handball when we were totally on top of the game on Saturday. So these things happen, and the lads need to learn to deal with it.
And of course, this was your first game in the Central League Cup. Just sort of run us by what your ambitions are for this competition.
Oh, listen, it's at the moment in time where it's all about minutes for us. It's all about minutes for everybody at the football club. That's wherever we can get minutes. Obviously, the first team squad have gone up to Coventry tonight, so that's great. You're going to be in and around it. Obviously, you've got Crawley next Tuesday, so maybe some others will get minutes there. So it's just about the balance of where we get minutes across the board for everyone, and that's how we're looking at it. That's what we're trying to do. So all these Central League Cup, Premier League Cup, they're just there to help aid. We went to Reading a couple of weeks ago with a squad, and they're a mixed youth team squad with some of the first team squad. It's just all about minutes and how many minutes we can get into the lads, especially the ones that are maybe squad players at the moment that aren't getting players for the first team. But when those games come up, it's great. It's just how it falls sometimes, and unfortunately, like today, it falls on a first team game as well. So there probably would have been 3 or 4 squad players playing if it hadn't fallen on the first team game. But for us, it's great. It's great for the lads because they learn anyway. It's all about learning. It's all about minutes.